So, that Habs not being able to score narrative is dead now, right? Hey everyone, it is Ben back again, and the Habs win! What are you still doing here? You were supposed to be gone!
Yes! Yes! Yeah!
Because if not, they're gonna get blown away.
The cannon. It just kept firing.
I am excited. Hey everyone, it is Ben back again, and I am sorry that it has been so long since I've made a video. I really did mean to make a video before now, before the preseason actually, but just coming back to college and all the new stuff I'm doing this semester, I've been super busy, and I've just not really gotten much of a chance. For those of you who don't know, which might be everybody because I don't know if I've ever actually said this in a video, I am a journalism major. I'm in my third year of college right now, and I have a lot of responsibilities when it comes to my coursework. I'm also the sports editor of the school's newspaper, so there's a lot of work involved there. But hopefully it won't affect the schedule of how I make these videos this season. Hopefully, crossing my fingers on that one because it's gonna get a little rough. My weeks are pretty busy now compared to last year. But I'm hoping for the best. But there is one way I've been able to sort of weave my schoolwork into this whole HFR thing is for one of my higher level journalism classes, multimedia production. Our assignment was to create a fully formed WordPress blog site with a theme and whatever. So I just made it HFR blog. The blog is going to focus on stories of my hockey fandom, past and present, all my memories as a Canadiens fan, and also maybe stories about things around Montreal, or just sort of stories outside of the basic structure of the video series, because I feel like if I did the same exact thing, it'd just get really redundant and kind of pointless. But I'm excited to see where that might go, so there's that. But also, my roommates and I, who are also happen to be some of my best friends, are planning on starting a podcast, and we have a name for it. We're calling it The Fifth Line. We're not sure when exactly it's going to start. Tentatively, I'm going to say we're going to have our first one up next Sunday, but don't hold me on that. It might not happen. And I will link in one of the future videos this week, because the games start this week. I will link to the podcast's homepage, and so yeah, there's that. I will also put a link to the blog down in the description as well. But now, getting on to the actual hockey that the Canadiens have been playing. And unfortunately, I have not really been able to watch all of the games that intently. I've kind of just caught bits and pieces of most of the first few games, where I'd get like a period or two, or I'd watch the highlights just because I just really don't have the time this semester. So it's going to be interesting how I'm going to figure out how to watch games this semester. I'll figure it out. But the last two games, Florida and Ottawa, I watched very closely. I watched Florida on my computer, but then I actually went to the game last night against Ottawa, so that was fun. But just a few things that I've noticed through camp and through the couple bits of games that I've watched. My big two standouts so far for me, in my eyes, of people that might make the team that weren't on the team before, are the same that everybody's going to say: Charles Hudon and Victor Mete, however you say it. He's been great. I'm not that surprised by Hudon. I've been kind of going on the Hudon train for like the last year or so, and I'm really happy he's finally getting a good long look, and it's looking like he will also start with the team this year, so that's cool. Victor Mete, I knew nothing about before this training camp, to be honest, because I don't watch junior hockey, so I knew nothing about Victor Mete coming in, but everything I've seen of him so far has impressed the hell out of me. I still don't love the idea that he might end up being a top two defenseman for us just this year, because we don't really have any other options. But at the same time, everything I've seen from him is smooth puck moving, good offensive instincts, and he is not scared with the puck. He's very confident in his passes and the plays he makes, and he has good decision-making skills when it comes to that, which is surprising for how young he is. And obviously it's not going to completely fill the gap that losing a puck mover like Andrei Markov left, but maybe it'll help, and it's looking like he also might make the team this year. Those are two of only a couple bright spots from early on in the camp, because the first 6 games of the camp or so were pretty bad, to be honest. Last 2 games were great, though. Now, getting into last night's game, just because that is the game I know the most about, because that was the game I was at and watched very closely. The line of Pacioretty, Drouin, and Gallagher was just absolutely bonkers last night. Like, the passing and, like, just the chemistry they had last night, I'm really excited to see if that might stay a thing, because holy crap were they good last night. I don't know if it was that Ottawa had a lineup that didn't have that many regulars in it. It didn't seem like they had most of their regular players. Maybe it's just because whenever they lose Carlson, they miss him that badly. But last night, Pacioretty, Drouin, Gallagher line looked fantastic. Other notable players in my eyes from the last couple games have been Paul Byron, Andrew Shaw, Alex Galchenyuk, and then Jacob De La Rose, specifically last night. I don't know about the games before, but talking about Paul Byron and Andrew Shaw first. Paul Byron getting 2 goals in the game against Florida, and then a couple assists last night. He looks like he really wants to prove that the whole 20-plus goal thing last year was not a fluke. And it'd be really exciting if we could keep having him as that secondary scoring punch, and he could keep those goals coming, because we need that. Andrew Shaw, everything I've seen him in so far this preseason, he has been looking like the best Andrew Shaw that I've ever seen him be as a Hab. Just the whole package, the way he's been playing offensively and just solid defensively on the puck. He's been looking really strong this training camp. I hope it carries over to the regular season. Alex Galchenyuk, from what I had seen in the games before the Florida and Ottawa games, he was actually having a bit of a rough time in camp. And it wasn't looking that great, but then he sort of turned it on with a line of Nikita Sherbak and Peter Holland, of all people, against Florida. I noticed he had a lot of good plays in that line that game. And then last night, he just blew the doors open, and just the laser of a top-shelf shot he put in. The shot he took that Andrew Shaw tipped in, he was just all over the ice last night. He was looking like his creative self, and there wasn't too many defensive breakdowns, I thought, last night. Well, there wasn't really anywhere around the team last night. But Alex Galchenyuk had a rough start to the training camp, but then last 2 games he's been looking really good, which is nice. And then Jacob De La Rose, who it's looking like might get slotted in as the 4th center, had a bit of a breakout night last night. He had 2 goals on the night, and also had a laser of a top-shelf shot on Condon, too. So nice surprises last night. Sorry, I wish I could talk about more games than the Ottawa and Florida games, but if I tried to, it'd be disingenuous, because I didn't, like I said before, I just haven't had the time to see the games as much as I would have liked to. I just haven't had the time. I am going to try to be better as the season goes on, but for the most part, I'm just excited for it to get started. It's been too long since we've had some regular season hockey action. Last night was so much fun getting back to the Bell Center to watch a game. It's been too long since I've done that. But I'm just really excited for the season to start, as much as I really wish we had a bit more work done on the defensive core. I'm still worried about that a little bit, but who knows, maybe Bergeron will pull something out of his ass, or maybe he'll just sign another lumbering, stay-at-home defenseman to get paired up with Carl Alsner, maybe. Who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see, because he still has $8 million in cap space left, just sitting there. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you guys later.